Welcome to the demonstration of the FusionFOX ERP. The module that we'll be focusing on today is the Customer Relationship Management module. The purpose of this demonstration is to give an insight into the Customer Relationship Management module. It's to showcase how this application can take care of the business processes for any industry, for any business vertical. The FusionFOX ERP is developed by GoFusion Software Private Limited, with its research and development headquarters in India and sales offices all over the globe, with offices in Sweden, in Saudi Arabia, Oman, UAE, and many other countries. The absolute query that we'll be addressing to in this video will be on how the business processes that were showcased in a previous video, whose link has been attached below, are taken care of from inside the application. So without any further ado, let's get into how the application functions and the look and feel of this application. This is the entire stack for the Customer Relationship Management module. These applications have been deployed in a different form, but in a multitude of industries and a multitude of business verticals in various departments. They adapt to the kind of business you do, they adapt to the kind of items or services you provide. The process begins from a lead, goes on to a qualification process, further goes on to it becoming a prospect, generating a price list for all your customers, for your services and items, further on that generating a proposal and quotation, registering your sales order, processing that order, and then getting into the supply chain cycle. You have tools which allow you to allocate target to your sales team. You have marketing tools that allow you to generate email campaigns. There is a methodology of setting up your scope if what you're providing is not items but are services, so you have a scope of work setup activity. There's a bid submission application. There's an application that allows you to set up activity-based targets. If you have employees who do not accurately generate numbers, but who you also wish to have X number of meetings in a week, or have X number of interactions, or have Y number of accomplishments, you can assign those targets over here and define those targets over here and assign them to individuals. This application is for the salesperson, for him to have a view of his sales numbers, or an account manager for him to view where are his leads at, where are the deals at, and how much collection has been done. This is a customized dashboard for each individual belonging to an individual role, which changes on the basis of how your designation and your role changes. This is a report generator which allows you to generate a report of any kind. Any financial report can be generated through our Data Explorer. And these are the master data applications. This is an application which is very integral to large organizations. When you have organizations which have multiple departments and multiple operating units, so you have a large pool of leads. This pool can be divided and split and shown visibility to only certain people which the management decides to. An operating unit can be only visible to the particular leads that it has been given visibility to, not to the entire lead set. And if a lead is not useful for a particular operating unit or for an organization, then it can be sent to the pool from where it can be accessed by any other individual from that organization who can materialize this lead. Now, getting into the specifics of our application, let's begin with our lead database management application. This is the application where you generate your lead. This is either if you have a marketing department who's going to manually enter those leads by defining a lead name over here, defining your basic details over here, which vertical does this lead belong to, the source, and whether you are manually entering the company names over here, or whether there's another option of uploading via Excel, or you have an Excel file that you have received from your marketing department that will be uploaded, and automatically this database will be filled with company name information over here and individual company informations over here. As an example, we have Ocean Group or Blue Trail Trading or Best Gluten. Their information are clearly available over here. The primary product, if they have one, they wish to procure from you. The rank, whether it's a warm lead, a contact person, the contact details, a website, and notes, if any special notes you wish to transfer. Now, after you have generated a top of the funnel lead, you need for it to qualify whether it is meaningful to you or it is not meaningful to you. This process is highly important because at the end of a period, at a quarter or a year, you need to analyze which particular channel of marketing is capable of giving you leads that can suffice or materialize into actual opportunities and sales. That is where we have another application called lead qualification process. As we go into this application, it shows you your entire database of leads. These were the 3 databases that we had earlier, and these were the individual name of companies belonging to this particular database. Now what it allows you to do over here is, as a salesperson or as a marketing person, it changes from industry to industry. They have to update the status of this lead for it to materialize to a prospect. Whether it requires some kind of engagement, whether it requires cold calling, or whether it requires some kind of networking. If this is qualified, you need to update the status over here. Or if it is not qualified, and again you need to update the status over here and define the reason on why this particular lead has not qualified. Along with that, you need to enter further details, like if there are any special notes, like in this case it's written notes, involved in multiple construction projects, requirement for excavators and possibly CAT construction trucks. Sales employee has given his own remarks. If the sales employee was involved in this information, the procurement team has requested a first level interaction. That is the reason the status has been updated. Now after this lead has qualified, it becomes a prospect. As it becomes a prospect, means you're identifying the absolute requirement of this particular customer. These are the only leads which have qualified to become prospects, and this is where you will enter their information if you wish to convert them to a customer. It's basically segmenting these little processes so that at the end of a quarter or at the end of a period, you can justify your actions via this system. That if your certain number of leads are stuck in being opportunities, if your certain number of leads are stuck in being prospects, then that number shall be visible, because that is actually some kind of interaction you're having with that particular customer. Now certain organizations do not wish to go through the entire process of having a lead, then qualifying it, and then for it to become a prospect, and only then moving ahead. For them, we have the opportunity management tool. What this tool does is it provides you a single one-piece interface where you can input any kind of information regarding an opportunity that you have. As an example, we have defined over here an opportunity for gluten-free products. It defines an automatic opportunity number, there's an opportunity name. If it's a prevalent customer, you choose your account type as customer and choose an opportunity as come from a customer. If it's a new customer, you have to change the option over here. The submission date, who's generated by, was there any sales employee, or was it as a marketing employee that was involved in this? If you have item details that they need, any quantity that they need, any specific requirement. Further adding on, the deal size if you're aware of. If you're aware of what date is it going to be closed on, what month is it going to be closed in, or year, any of the details, because later on at the end of that quarter, when it shows a report or when it shows a graph of your capabilities, it should show your sales funnel for January that this might close. So that's what you define over here. Your follow-up history, till an opportunity has been converted to a proposal or quotation or till a sales order, you can define your history over here, what process is going on, so that when a senior management is having a look at what progress an individual is making for a particular opportunity, there's a clear timeline defined over here. Any prerequisites that you need for meeting this opportunity, for making a sale or generating a quotation, you need chamber registration or you need a third-party assurance. What is going to be the cost versus what is going to be the deal size? Any kind of classification, how did you receive this opportunity, whether it was a customer inquiry or whether it was through networking, you can define those options over here. Any reference details, any other areas of interest that might be relevant to the organization that you're working in. And if you're not selling an item, if you're providing a service, you can clearly define your scope of work over here. And as you define your scope of work, it calculates the cost, your deal size. So these are the two ways that you can generate from a lead to a customer. That is either by going through qualifying a lead, creating a prospect, converting it to a customer, or you can generate an opportunity. And once that opportunity materializes, you go ahead and generate a price list for that particular customer, proposal or quotation for that particular customer. Now, generating that proposal or quotation for that customer is a very integral and a concrete part of our customer relationship management. One of the key functionalities of our customer relationship management tool is that we provide you to generate a particular price list for a particular customer. As an example over here, when I'm trying to generate a quotation for a lead or for an opportunity that has come up, PSMMC is a particular customer that I have for whom I'm trying to generate a quotation for these two particular products. Now, the sample person or the demo person who's trying to generate, his name is Peter. Now, if the organization wishes that when a quotation is being generated for Prince Sultan Military Medical City, for these particular products, the price that I wish should be this for 7 quantities, for 11 quantities, and this is the discount percentage. Now this is the point where a lot of ERPs and a lot of solutions lose control, because they give complete freedom, but they do not provide control. What the FusionFOX ERP does is that it provides you complete freedom along with absolute control over what kind of pricing should be followed. That is where our tool of price list management comes into consideration. You have the option of determining a price category wise. Whether if somebody is generating a price list for pharmaceutical products, then the basic prices that should come is this. This is standard, and it's going to be visible to Peter or you can define any number of salesmen over here. Now, if you want to determine a price list customer wise, that is what happens over here. You can determine that when generating a price list for this particular customer, this is the final price that I wish to receive, and only this person can view this price list. Another advantage is you can define your maximum discount limit over here, that this particular salesman is allowed to give a discount of 30%. Now imagine the sales manager might be allowed to give up to 40%. The business head might be able to give up to 45%. Now that control you can define over here. You can define another category as customer wise, you can define it as salesman wise, you can define it manually or item group wise. Following which, now that we get into the quotation, after we select the price list, we go for the workflow. What kind of approval process will it follow? Will it follow the standard approval process which is predefined, that when you generate a proposal or quotation, it shall be approved by this person? Or we have another methodology where approval can be value based. If the quotation is of X value, it can be approved by person A. If it's of Y value, by person B. And if it's greater than Y, then C. That's what the workflow process is all about. This is the document. If you've received any document, any previous purchase orders that you've received from the customers, that might be helpful. So you can add those documents over here. So when somebody is viewing it, he can have complete visibility of how this quotation is being generated and how can he be of assistance to him. Any payment terms can be clearly defined. It's 50% advance and 50% on delivery. Any additional charges like tax, freight can be assigned over here. If you're talking about scope of work over here, then you can assign additional charges of any change request that will be from your product, or any further consultancy charges. Those can be defined over here. And it can be defined that who will it be charged to, whether it's going to be charged to a customer or whether it's included in the price. So the total price gets calculated accordingly. So this is the entire process of how a lead or an opportunity is getting converted to a quotation. Right. Now we've gone through the process of creating a quotation. Now when you receive a purchase order from the customer, what you need to do is register a sales order registration. This is where it comes in. This is where we define a particular sales order. On the basis of the particular quotation that we've generated, we can generate a sales order. As an example over here, for the same customer, we had generated a quotation. For the same customer, we are creating a sales order over here. Sales order follows the entire cycle as was followed in the quotation. It picks up all your details. You have an option of manually generating a sales order as well as manually generating a quotation or a proposal also. Now, in certain scenarios, certain quotations do not get approved. Now, if a quotation is not approved, you have an option of making a new version of that particular quotation. What that does is that if it's not approved or the customer wants a change in price, and when you're making a newer version, it allows the system to map and learn that a newer version was made on the basis of this, and these were the changes that were made. So when you're having a holistic view of maybe 5,000 or 2,000 or even 500 quotations and how many of them were new version was made and what was the new price, you can make data and have an analysis of what prices you provide. So this was an overview of how customer relationship management tool takes care of the functionality that we provide. Now, to give an overview of dashboards that the customer relationship management tool provided by FusionFOX provides is, it gives you an absolute graphical view of all the information that has been inputted in this entire data set. Now, being an executive, it allows you to search your entire salesmen and what is going on regarding to sales in your organization. For demo purposes, we've only created one salesman. Otherwise, it will show you a list of top salesmen for that particular period. For this particular period that I choose over here, I have only one salesman in my demo, so it's showing me the maximum sales of this person is 8893 based on the information that is entered by the entire organization. It shows me for November and December, these were the trending products with the maximum amount of sales. I've defined only 3 customers, so it's showing me which are my customers which are giving me the maximum amount of revenue. If you purchase the FusionFOX Finance, it can give you on the basis of collections also. It can give you a comparison between what sale has been done and how much collection has been made for those particular sales. This gives you a graphical view on what particular category of item is contributing to the maximum amount of sales. And then from category, it goes to an individual item. In general accessories, hot rolled are providing this much percentage of sales. I've sold 22 quantities. In pharmaceutical products, out of 39, I've sold 26 of gluten-free sticks. So it gives you a revenue based and an item based of how much revenue is being generated from individual products. Here it gives you have multiple regions or multiple locations. Region wise, if you select that, so my sales for Brussels have been 6.297k. It allows you a location in that particular region. So it dynamically changes. So this is yet again a dashboard view. This is a mere sample to show the capability and the scalability of our solution. We customize these DVTs and these widgets specifically for the customer requirements. Any kind of dashboard can be generated for a person belonging to any kind of role. So this was an overview of how the customer relationship management tool of FusionFOX works. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thank you very much for watching this demonstration.